Very good morning, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you
Good
are
morning,
Dr.
sir.
audible.
Dr. Amin Ankur, sir. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, am I
Good morning, David,
audible?
sir. Ankur.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. Am I visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, we welcome you to this program of NET coaching of our students. Let me introduce Dr. Amin Ankur, sir. He is serving in PG Department of Business Studies, Sardar Patel University, and his biodata is comparatively longer, but I will talk about his research work. For example, he has Drive magazine, a monthly newsletter, and in which 31 articles have been published in that monthly newsletter. Then in international journal, he has published 13 research papers. Then there is national national journal in which 15 research papers have been published, and chaptering book, 4 research papers are published in 14 different books. Books published: 1, Principles of Management, Sri Gajanan Pustakalai, Surat. And he has worked as an editor in Changing Footprints of Business, Excel India Publishers, New Delhi. And he is a state level table tennis player. So we welcome Dr. Ankur Amin. And sir, you are supposed to speak for 1 hour from 10:30 to 11:30. After that, we have some 5 presenters, and they will say something. Our session is from 10:30 to 12:30, and we would like to complete it at least before 1, because we will have to introduce all the 5 presenters, and then they will speak, and I don't know whether they will take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, what, we don't know. So over to you, Dr. Ankur Amin. We welcome you, and now uh, we hand over it to you. Okay, sir?
Thank you, David, sir.
Uh,
Thank you very much for your kind introduction. First of all, I would like to congratulate Department of English and especially Professor Parul Popat Madam, who's head of the department, for conceiving the idea of implementing the free online coaching for NET. And she has implemented for paper one NET. So I must congratulate as well as I must thank Department of English for giving this opportunity for sharing the information, rather knowledge on research aptitude. So before much ado, I'll simply straight away share my presentation. Just let me know whether it is visible or not. So can anyone tell me, is it visible to everyone or not?
Yes, sir, visible.
yes, free online NET coaching, topic research aptitude.
Yeah, it's visible, right? Okay. So, good morning, everyone. Those who joined online on the Zoom platform, as well as those who are watching on the Department of English YouTube channel. So, let me start with this is my flow of presentation. It is exactly the syllabus which was given in the which is given in the paper one UGC NET. Okay, starting with research and end with all research ethics. So, whatever contents are given in the syllabus of paper one UGC NET. I try and cover each and every aspects under the research aptitude part, that is unit number 2. So, starting with research, that is the meaning and introduction of research. Is it? It is an online session, so wherein I cannot see everyone. Okay, so but I would like to make it more interactive from your end as well. So before I start, make you understood about the various aspects of research, I would like to know what is research from your end. A few word answer and few understanding about your research. I've shown the entire slide of research introduction. There are various definitions given by the authors. Okay, so don't include all these things. But what do you mean by research? Anyone from those who have joined live in Zoom platform, right? So you
So
can
may I?
unmute and say.
May I? Am I
Yes,
audible?
yes, go ahead, go ahead.
According to me, research is something, a detailed kind of information where we try to discover something new of already things which are there by reading or getting references from other things and trying to explore it more.
Okay. Anyone? What is your basic understanding about research? Okay, and then we'll simply discuss all these things. Okay.
Sir, may I?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Basically, research for me is to add something new, like new perspective to the existing knowledge.
Okay, good. Because I would like to discuss the entire thing from the examination point of view, wherein the kind of questions which are covered from this unit number 2, that is research aptitude. Okay, wherein what kind of question can be comprised or can be asked in the examination. Okay, because now day by day it will be tougher, and you never find the direct questions are asked in the examination, right? So starting with the definition given by the Advanced Learner Dictionary of Current English. Okay, it is what sorry, it is a careful investigation or inquiry, especially through search for new facts in any branch of knowledge. That is the definition given by the Learner's Dictionary of Current English, right? And very famous definition given by Redman and Mori, because in the examination you need to remember who has given what kind of definition, okay? Because that may be asked as a part of the definition given by various author. That means on one hand, it's just like a matching the blocks, okay? So on one hand you find the name of the author, and the other hand you find the the various definition given by those. Okay, so accordingly, you need to remember who has given what kind of definitions. Okay, and that may be from the examination perspective. That Redmond Mori has given very basic definition of research, that is a systematic effort to gain new knowledge. It's an effort. It is not a simple effort, but it's a systematic effort to gain a new knowledge, and that way it is the various steps of the research has been added in terms of system of various efforts putting by the researchers to gain some knowledge or gain some new knowledge. So some people consider research as a movement from unknown to unknown, because we want to explore something or we want to find something new. So that means it's a journey from knowing or moving from known to unknown, or unknown to known. That is a kind of you discover something. It's a journey of discovering something new. That may be also considered as research in the layman's language. According to Clifford Woody, research comprises of defining and redefining problem. That means you define problem, and again, based on your findings, again you redefine your problems. The more you discover, the more you go in deeper, you go on redefining your own problem as well. Then on that basis, you formulate hypothesis, then you suggest solutions, you collect and organize data, you evaluate data, you make making deduction and reaching conclusion, and last carefully testing the conclusion to determine whether they fit with the formulating the hypothesis or not. It's a kind of the entire process we will discuss in detail. So please don't worry about that. But that's a definition given by Clifford Woody. Then Schlesinger and Stephenson in the Encyclopedia of Social Sciences define research as the manipulation of things. Here, the manipulation is not you are somewhat diluting the things. It's what you are altering, you are changing the things. Okay, you concepts. That means you manipulate, you alter, you add, you subtract something, you deduct something from the existing concepts or symbols for the purpose of generalizing to extend, correct, or verify the knowledge. Whether that knowledge adds in construction of theory or in the practice of an art or not. That means whatever manipulate in terms of the phenomena or the existing things which you are doing with the help of the journey of research, whether that create some knowledge or concepts theory that may be a part of the research which was defined as Schlesinger and Stephenson. So it is nothing but in the layman's language, it is considered as you are adding something to the existing knowledge. Now, whatever existing knowledge is available, okay, wherein you add something, you modify something, you change something, you alter something. Okay, that is what the journey of research or the findings of research. I think you can say that. So it is nothing but the original contribution to the existing stock of knowledge making for its advancement. Remember, because something new has been discovered, okay, and whatever discovered, wherein I think you add, you modify, you alter. It may not be the same that you discover entirely new thing. That may be also considered as the discovery of new thing, wherein I think it is considered as invention as a part of your research. But here, whatever existing knowledge is available, wherein I think you would like to modify based on the current scenario, based on some phenomena. Okay, so based on your aspects or the different aspects, you want to add something to that, you want to modify something to that, and you discover something new or you make something new. That is be considered as research. Okay, so whatever in a layman's language, it's nothing but whatever things you have in terms of existing knowledge from your end, by doing some research in terms of the various steps of research, you add something to that, you modify something to the existing knowledge, um, you remove something from the existing knowledge, okay, based on your research, that we consider as research. And I'm telling everyone that feel free to ask question, okay, feel free to stop me, I think wherever you find difficulty to understand the point, okay. So I'm here to repeat everything, right, to make you understand. Starting with the objectives of research, these are the various fundamental objectives of research. Okay, from the researcher's end, that means to gain familiarity with the phenomena or to achieve new insights into it. That is, we want to explore something or we want to formulate something. That is what we want to gain familiarity with the phenomena. That means I want to go closer and closer with that particular thing or with that particular phenomena. Okay, so that I can gain some new insights into it, and that is nothing but the exploration or formulation of research study. Okay, that means I'm teaching research methodology at MCOM level, where I always give the examples of in terms of how one can distinguish between the exploratory and descriptive research. Now, exploratory nothing but you want to explore. Now, for example, when you have the fever, now in that case, there are certain symptoms through which I think we can explore that I have a fever, and for that you may go or you may visit or you may not visit the doctor, because there are defined symptoms are available for having or describing the fever. Okay, that means I have some temperature, headache, body ache. These are some common phenomena or common the factors through which one can judge or one can explore that I have a fever. That is what I can explore, that I have a fever. That is what you gain familiarity with the phenomena. That means I have a fever. The next objective that I want to portray accurately the characteristics of a particular individual situation or a group. That means I want to go deeper into that particular fever, that what kind of fever is all about. So I visit the doctors and to dig about this fever, I think we go for the blood test, which was recommended by the doctor, and then with the help of that blood test, he can discover that you have a dengue or you have a malaria or viral fever. That is what we are describing that particular problem with more deeper insights. The next thing is what to determine the frequency with which something occurs or with which it is associated with something else. That means we want to associate. That means we want to diagnose. Okay, with what it may be dengue, it may be malaria. Okay, very nothing in blood report, everything it is shown. Okay, so we want to go for diagnostic study in terms of we want to associate number of parameters, number of factors into that. Okay, for this, I think this happened. That means it is just because of the dengue, or that means the the mosquitoes, Anopheles mosquito, which bite the humans, and then you find malaria. Accordingly, you have the other mosquito through which dengue can be occurred. So that is what the diagnostic research studies can be conducted. That means wherein we associate various parameters with the phenomena, and then to test the hypothesis of a causal relationship between the variables. That is the hypothesis testing research study, wherein I think whatever number of variables identified by you, you try and form a relationship, and then you test that hypothesis. Okay, so during that every slides, I think we will discover and we will understand the entire research process. To make you understand, we will have one example. That means a research study on the consumption patterns of students of SPU, right? That we want to study the consumption patterns of or online shopping behavior of the students of Sardar Patel University. That the example through which we would like to understand each and every aspects of research. Okay, so just remember that the research study example, right? Quickly, what are the characteristics of research? Okay, every research has some features, some basic or fundamental. Uh, the research, the characteristics and the feature, that is what objectivity. Why I want to conduct this research? That means objective must be there in the mind of every researcher. What is the basic objective of this research? Okay, so research is supposed to be free from any personal and other sorts of biases, remember, and that is why objective would be on a holistic side. That means why I would like to conduct this research. That I would like to know the consumption patterns of students of SQ. That means how in today's era of online offline shopping, how what kind of things they are consuming. Okay, and that maybe uh, that information, that research study findings will be given to the marketer to identify the various the factors affecting consumption and what kind of consumption done by the students. Okay, in terms of what amount. Okay, from which shop, online, offline. These are the aspects will be helpful to the marketers. So the objective should be free from your personal biases. Okay, so accordingly you set the your objective. Reliability is the it must be reliable to give the solution, to give the or to generalize your findings to the entire population, and that way your study will be reliable and consistent. It must be valid. Okay, whatever I think you collect the data or you go for the research, it has internal validity, external validity, face validity, content validity, criteria validity, and construct validity. Now these are the things that can be asked in the examination. Now what is internal validity? Now whatever research tool and whatever uh, the instrument you are choosing for collection of data, it has valid in terms of validity to give the exact result. Remember, there are different types of validity of checking your the research instrument. Okay, wherein I think we have convergent validity, we have divergent validity. Okay, so there are various tools in the XPSS or in the various other statistical analysis through which we can check and measure the validity of our research tool. External validity would be always from the respondent's point of view. Remember, now face validity is nothing but whatever constructions of your question in your questionnaire will be validated by uh, the experts of that particular subject or that particular area. For example, I'm working on the psychology of the students, then and to understand uh, the level of psychological stress or the stress or the anxiety during the examination, I would like to conduct the study. And for that, I would prepare a questionnaire, and that questionnaire must be validated by the experts, and that is what nothing but the face validity. Content validity is nothing but whatever number of theoretical aspects have been covered under that. Okay, the same content can be reflecting in my questionnaire, reflecting in my research tool or not. That is the content validity. Criteria validity means to measure a particular of variable and the factor. There are various criteria have been decided under the various theory. So are you following those criteria or not? And the construct validity, there are different constructs. It is nothing but the various variable you have identified, and you want to measure those variable. So whether those variables are in line with the theory, available theory or not, that is what the construct validity you want to check. Accuracy means the various tools and method which you are using are accurate to give you the exact result which was prescribed earlier. It must be credible. That means to give the result. Generalizability means whatever findings you come with your research maybe easily applicable to the entire population. That is what your findings would be applicable to the larger populations. Empirical research must be always based on the collection of data where you analyze that data and then you come with the findings. That is known as empirical research. It is systematic and logical. Okay, you follow various steps involved into that. Okay, you cannot jump directly into defining the instrument or the research instrument. Before that, you study the theoretical aspect, and then you define and devise the various tools. There are certain control factors in all research and experiment. Always there are certain control factors and uncontrolled factors. Okay, that means you have your own boundary wherein you want to consider, you want to do your research. Okay, that is what the control factors, because every phenomena has different factors. But which factors you would like to cover in your research? Maybe maybe at your end, I think you are deciding these are the factors I'm going to cover. I'm not going to discover other factors in my research. Okay, cyclical, if it is you're using that for a different periods of time, and replicable means repeatedly it can be done by other researcher as well. That is what the basic characteristics of a research. Uh, Very important thing, that means the types of research. These are various types of research. Okay, so from the examination point of view, different names have been given by the in the examination as well. So starting with descriptive versus analytical research. So descriptive, nothing but you want to go for fact findings, you want to go for problem solving. That means you want to go for why this problem occurs. Okay, why I found, for example, from the business point perspective, that means the company's market share is reducing. So I want to conduct the study. What are the reason for which this market share has been reduced? Okay, and the same thing. How do I increase or how do I enhance my market share? So for that also I would like to conduct the study. That is also considered as descriptive study. The another name of the descriptive research is the ex post facto research. That means we want to find out why this happened, what are the various reasons. Okay, that means it covers under that. It is also known as ex post facto research. Okay, so in descriptive research, I think normally we use experiments or survey methods. Okay, and then we collect the data from center, from the entire population, or from selected samples. We analyze and we find a particular things. Okay, that is what descriptive research. That means we would like to go in deeper into that and find out the reasons for a particular problem or reasons or a solution of that particular problem. That is what descriptive research, wherein I think we focus only on fact-finding inquiries with the help of collection of data, right? Wherein, on the other hand, analytical research is we are using the facts and the information which are already available. and then we check, analyze this to make critical evaluation of the material. We consider as whatever number of data is available, right? For example, we want to consider the new education or the national education policy, which can be known more as new education policy, right? But it's a national education policy. So from last year, it has been implemented at graduate level, right? So we want to find out how NEP has been implemented and what are the various challenges faced during the implementation of the NEP, right? That is what we want to find out. That is what we want to analyze. So whatever number of universities and whatever number of colleges have been has implemented this NEP at their colleges. So we go to those colleges, we go to those university officials or universities, and then try and collect data about any NEP implementation. And based on that collection of data, we evaluate based on our objective, and then we come out with the critical evaluation in terms of what kind of difficulties they are facing, why they are facing such kind of difficulties. Okay, that is known as analytical research. In case of descriptive research, we go for fact-finding inquiries wherein we collect the data from the respondents and then we analyze and then we come out with the findings. Right? Next is applied versus fundamental. Applied research, it can be research considered as a pure science research. Remember, it can be carried out in the in the laboratory, and then you come out with the result. Okay, so we more applied research is nothing but to find the solution for an immediate problem facing the society of an industrial or business organization. Now, for example, the corona vaccine, right? Okay, it's a pure science research wherein we would like to find out the solution of the corona, and for that we would like to go for vaccine. Wherein number of research agencies work on that, research on that, and then come out with the vaccine. That is what the applied research. Okay, and fundamental research is nothing but it is with the formulation of theory. Okay, you start research, you gather data, you analyze data, and based on that particular analysis of data, you come out with a new concept, you come out with a new theory, you come out with uh, a new principle. That is we consider as fundamental research. Okay, so Newton's three law is nothing but the fundamental research. Okay, theory of motivation is nothing but the fundamental research. Okay. So before identifying the Newton's the three law of gravitation, I think he whatever data conducted, he observed everything, went for number of observation, number of analysis, and then come out with the principles of gravity, which can be considered as fundamental research. But after analyzing, gathering data, you come out with formulating a particular theory, concept, and principle, which is known as fundamental research or the basic research or the pure research. Okay. Next is quantitative versus qualitative. Now, quantitative research is always based on the measurement of some numbers and quantity or some amount. Okay, that means your phenomena is associated with some numbers, or you try and convert them into number and then you go for analysis. That is, you always deal with numbers. That is quantitative analysis. Where in case of qualitative analysis, I think you deal with the quality aspects of that particular phenomena. Wherein I think, for example, I would like to understand the attitude of students uh, in case of the NEP implementation at various colleges. So attitude, it's all quality aspects can be analyzed. Wherein I think you are not dealing with numbers. Okay, so it always in case of the qualitative aspects, in case of behavioral aspects, okay, which can be considered as qualitative research. Uh, is it okay, everyone? Any doubt about any types of research? Now again, I'm telling everyone that wherever you find any difficulty, please stop me at that moment and without hesitation ask me, right? So next is you find more text on this slide because it is for your examination, UGC NET examination, and that is why I think I'll come out with all the text on the slides instead of only titles, right? Next is conceptual versus empirical research. Conceptual research is nothing but it is related with some theories and it is related to some abstract. That means uh, whatever philosophers, practitioners, thinkers, okay, they collect data and they develop new concepts, okay, or they modify the new concept, which is considered as conceptual study, wherein you come out with some concepts, right? Where in case of empirical study, it is relies on the experience and observations alone. That means you are not collecting data. Remember, in that case, it is database research coming up with the conclusion which are capable of being verified by observation and the experiment. That means it is empirical research. In case of you try and collect the data and whatever existing theory is available, okay, you try and relate you try and relate your findings, your concepts, your principles with the existing theory and with existing concepts. That is what your empirical research, okay. So whatever existing theory is available, based on that you collect the data and you try and compare your result with your existing theory or existing concepts. Explanatory research, I think it is nothing but you would like to identify and explain the relationship between the variables. That means you try and explain the variables which you have identified, how they are reacting and how they are reflecting in various phenomena. And that way, by testing the hypothesis, you would like to explain the relationship between the various variables identified during your research. Okay. Exploratory research is nothing but you would like to explore something new. Okay. Okay. By collecting data. Okay. So for that, you may formulate some hypothesis. You identify your research questions, and then whatever preliminary knowledge or insights you can gain can be a part of your exploratory research. Based on that, one can or the researcher can go into deeper or identifying some reason why it occurs. Okay, because exploratory research gives you a, a basic understanding about the problem. Okay, it won't give you the deeper insight about a particular problem. For deeper insight, you always go for empirical research. You always go for descriptive research. Cross-sectional research is nothing but it is between the various individuals at a particular same time. Okay, at particular same time, you are collecting data from various individuals. For example, cross-sectional research, nothing but the same sort of uh, the consumption patterns of students. That means I'm collecting data from one university. That means from Sardar University as well as I'm collecting data from the MS University. That is also cross-sectional data. I'm collecting data from university from Gujarat and one university from Maharashtra. That is also cross-sectional data. But at the same moment, at the same time, you are collecting data from different sections or sects, right? Longitudinal research, nothing but uh, it covers for so many years, just like corona research. Okay, at the time of corona, what happened? Okay, and after vaccination, what happened? Again, after 1 year, what happened with the same patients? Okay, so basically it applicable to medical research and various other scientific research, wherein I think you would like to discover, you would like to come out with the impact of certain drugs or certain things on a particular individual. Respondents remain the same, and you may go on changing your instrument or your drugs or medicines or your experiment with the same sect of the respondents. Okay, over a period of time, you go on collecting data from those respondents, and then you find out the findings, and you compare the findings of those various periods of findings. Okay, is there any change or the kind of things, right? Experimental research is nothing but a kind of cause and effect kind of research. Okay, that means diabetic patients, okay, come out with some medicines, and then one control group is available which may not be a part of experiment, and one group is a part of experiment, and then you compare. Or it's a kind of the cause and effect relationship, and you want to test the hypothesis. It is experimental research. Okay, it's a controlled environment wherein the number of respondents are very less compared to descriptive research. Okay, with the controlled environment, with the control factors, you would like to experiment on a particular respondents. Historical research is nothing but whatever data, facts, numbers, I think, of a past. Okay, and you collect, you analyze, and then you come out with the findings, which is known as historical research. Okay, that means you whatever number of historical documents are available. Okay, and then you fact findings, kind of things under that on a particular phenomena. Uh, you go for finding out something. Okay, that means in your social science, in terms of humanities, I think you find more historical research are carried out by various historians or by various researchers. Okay, so these are the various types of research in your syllabus. There are two aspects. It is positivism and post-positivism approach can be covered. So
Excuse me, sir.
positivism approach is nothing but which emphasize
Uh,
on the importance of empirical evidence.
Excuse
You
me,
don't
sir.
believe, okay, without any evidence of data, without any evidence of any data or any facts. Okay, so it is with the help of scientific method. You are collecting data and then you understand a particular based on that particular empirical evidence, and then you are come out with the result. Okay, so you won't believe, okay, based on whatever information given by any person. You just check with the help of scientific methods. You go for empirical evidence, and then you find a particular thing, and for that you may formulate hypothesis, collect data with the systematic observations or with the systematic method, then analyze data accurately, and then draw the conclusion based on your empirical evidence to understand the entire world about a particular concept or a particular things. Okay, so these are the various features of positivism. That means it is always on empirical observation. That means you observe. That means you believe on those empirical evidences, not on just on the words or the oral things. Okay,
Sir,
the objectivity would be always will be there. With
sir,
yes, any
may I interrupt you for a minute, sir?
pardon?
There is a Dr. Millie Jetwani. She has one question to ask you, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. You can unmute, and because I'm not checking the chat as well. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so
Uh,
you just unmute and ask the question. It's
uh,
go ahead.
Okay, sir. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, go
Yes,
ahead.
am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Okay, good morning, sir. Now, the question is regarding difference between one or two types of these methods.
Okay.
So, how fundamental differs with this exploratory or empirical
How fundamental research?
differs with exploratory research or empirical research?
Now
Because
listen. Yeah, listen. It is there are various basic types. Are very very few basic types. For example, fundamental research is always work on a basic and the pure research, wherein you would like to create a new theory. You would like to create a new concepts, new principles, and new theory. And for that, you collect data, you observe things. Okay. In that case, they are using empirical evidences. It can be considered as empirical research because for creating the new theory, for finding the new theory and the concept, you are identifying various empirical evidences. You analyze those empirical evidences. That means you collect the data. Uh, you analyze it very very accurately. Okay, and then you draw conclusion based on those empirical evidences. So fundamental research covers empirical research, but the explorative research would not be a part of your in terms of, because explorative research is nothing, you want to explore something wherein you are not so keen for devising some theory or devising some concept, but it may be a first part of your empirical research, or the first session, or the first step of your fundamental research, where you need to identify more or less the explorative research would be a kind of the exploration of problem only, where I think it is based remain on a surface only. We never go deeper into that. That's the moment I think you would like to start deeper into that, you describe, and for that you start doing the empirical research, you start collecting empirical evidences, and then at the end, based on the findings of the empirical research, you come out with the theory, which as a whole consider as your fundamental research or the pure research or the basic research. Okay, so there are many researches are interconnected with each other, remember. Okay, so you cannot separately bifurcate it from each other, remember, because it's a step by step the research can be covered, but easily you can identify the experimental research will be different from your basic conceptual research, wherein I think you're not experimenting. Okay, so that way some differences will be there, but it is a starting point of your fundamental research. Okay, so in the examination also, the question will be like that only, so you can directly judge that this would be the explorative research and this would be the fundamental research, or this would be the empirical research. Okay, where in empirical research, I think where you find, I think they more or less, I think give you information about the collection of empirical evidences, collection of data, analysis and everything. Okay, and then in case of fundamental research, you find it will be always on devising some new theory or new concepts and principles. Okay, that way. But this is what the explanation of every types of research. Okay, will it be okay?
Okay, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So in a way, exploration differs from discovery. So fundamental is based on discoveries.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, fundamental would be it is like you collect evidences, and based on that evidences, you are creating new theory. Okay, you are devising new concepts and you are devising new theory. Okay, that is what your fundamental is. That is what your pure and basic research, where you would like to find
Fine.
out something new. Okay, so
Okay. So as you
discovery
mentioned,
would be an outcome of your fundamental research.
okay, fine. So as you mentioned, those three laws of motion. So that is a fundamental research.
Yes,
And the research based on those three laws of motion can be called what?
three laws of
Motion,
yeah,
that
yeah, okay. That is
Newton's.
fundamental research. That is discovery of new thing. But as a part of discovery, he started with a problem. He found Newton saw that why this apple is falling down, right? Why not going up?
Hmm.
So there must be a problem at the surface, okay? And that is what your
Hmm.
exploration of something new, something or some phenomena has been explored. That means why this apple means apple is falling. That is the phenomena explored by the Newton. That is exploration. Why this is happening?
Exploration. Hmm.
Yeah, why this is happening? And for that, he try and collecting empirical evidences. That is empirical research. Okay, so fundamental research always start with exploration. Remember,
Okay,
during the
okay,
after
sir.
exploration, you would like to go for description of that particular descriptive research for wherein why it occurs. And to answer this why it occurs, I think you start collecting empirical evidences. So you go for empirical research, and at the end you come out with those three principles, maybe of motion, or maybe sorry the three laws of motions. Okay, that is the outcome of your fundamental research. But it's a fundamental research is a journey. It always starts with exploration, remember. You cannot directly go into that particular, remember, when you know the problem, that is fine. But in case of gravity, no one has explored that there's a problem in terms of the apple is falling down, right? So it was
Hmm.
explored by Newton, and then he would like to go into deeper why it happens. So he would like to describe that particular problem, and then for that, empirical research can be started by collecting empirical evidences, and as a finding of empirical evidences, you come out with those the three laws of motions. That is the outcome of fundamental research. Okay, will it be fine?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. These are the positivism is always based on the empirical evidences. That means you collect the data and then you come out with the findings. Okay, you won't believe any words of a person or of any 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 researcher. Okay, instead of that, you try and collect the data, analyze, and then you come with your finding, which is known as the positivism, which is based on objectivity, quantitative analysis. You deal with number, generalizability, wherein I think. You try and generalize your findings on some portion of population or the entire population. Deductive reasoning is nothing but it is based on some theory. Okay, it is based on some theory wherein on that basis you try and collect the data. Replicability means other researcher also repeat your research. That is the features of positivism. Next is post-positivist research or post-positivism research, wherein we directly won't accept everything. Remember, I think it is go more critically. That means the method which accepts concepts to be relevant only if they support the action. Okay, that means you are critically examining, you are critically measuring, you are critically analyzing, and then you find and then you accept the things. Remember, and that is why it is the these are the various features of the post-positivist research, wherein the critical realism will be the main factor or the main features of post-positivist research. In positivism, it is not so critically evaluated by the researcher. Remember, where in case of post-positivist research or post-positivism research, I think you more critically evaluating the each and every data which you have gathered, okay, by using various parameters, by using various the fundamental things which you have, and then you come out with the solution. In case of positivism, you only use quantitative methods or quantitative data, but in case of post positivism, you are using mixed methods approach as well. You also acknowledge the subjectivity of a particular thing, wherein I think there is no question of bias. If it is there, then you accept that particular thing or you acknowledge that bias. Here, the researcher has used this bias, and accordingly, this findings has been discovered. So these are the various features. Contextualization and interpretation will be there. Reflexivity and the pragmatism will be the various characteristics of the post-positivism. Okay. Uh, this is what the difference between positivism and post-positivism will be useful for answering a question in the examination. Remember. Okay, so in case of positivism, it is less subjective compared to acknowledging the post-positivism. So objective reality exists. In case of objective reality exists, but it is mediated by the perception and interpretation. Remember here, the role of researcher in case of his biases, his understanding, his knowledge, mediating the objectivity of a research in case of post-positivism. Research focus would be always empirical observation and measurement. In case of post-positivism, it is more qualitative aspects and multiple perspective can be covered. Quantitative in case of positivism, in case of post-positivism is a combination of quantitative and qualitative study can be covered. It strive for objectivity and neutrality, but in case of post-positivism, it is recognizes the impossibility of complete objectivity and encourages reflexivity in research practices. Remember, it is scientific. It is very. It is not that easy to identify the objectivity and neutrality in case of any research. Remember, because there are a number of parameters, there are a number of factors that are affecting to that. Role of theory in case of positivism, it is deductive theory, wherein based on theory you are collecting data. Where in case of post-positivism, I think you go for critical realism, you acknowledge the role of theory, and you may come out with something new. That is, inductive reasoning can be a part of your post-positivism. Okay, positivism is less flexible compared to post-positivism, and replicability. Okay, so emphasizes the replicability for validation. Where in case of post-positivism, it is it acknowledges the importance of context. Okay, and while its application is valued, it may not always be straightforward due to contextual factors. Remember, because there are a number of factors are involved into that, and as a result, I think you may not allow researcher to go for repeating your research study because there are a number of things can be covered into that based on theory, based on various contexts, based on various principles. Okay, this may be useful for answering question in the examination. The difference between positivism and post-positivism based on various aspects. Very quickly now, you understand the methods of research. Experimental, which is with some variables and with some controlled factors. Remember, here the controlling the factors are a very important part of experiment. Remember, in science as well in social science, there are certain control factors are available, and there are certain selected factors with which you would like to manipulate the phenomena. That is what the experimental research. Descriptive research, I think you want to describe the characteristics or the behavior of a population. Historical, purely based on the data or the historical facts and documents. Uh, Qualitative research, wherein I think you find interview, focus group, participant observation, and content analysis will be the method of doing qualitative research. These are the various methods used in the qualitative research. Okay, you conduct the interviews with various scripts, defined script, and then you collect the data. There are certain focus group, that means a selective number of respondents, and you have interview or you have conversation with that person else or the respondent. These are focus group. Participant observation, that means you observe the respondents behavior. Content analysis means the kind of text, the kind of content, okay, used in the interview, and then you go for analyzing those content for your research. Quantitative always deal with numbers, and that means the surveys, okay, through which I think you're directly approaching the respondents. So maybe with the help of experiments, observational study, obviously in case of the marketing research and consumer research, I think you observe the behavior of consumer, and then you note down the things. And the second, data analysis, which is already available, and then you want to discover something new, or you want to find out something new. That is second, data analysis. So these are the various methods used by under the quantitative research. Uh, Steps of research, it is the basic. There are 11, 12 steps are available, starting with formulation of and identification of the problem. The research always starts with the problem only, right? Why this occurs? Okay, so you would like to find out the reason, or either you would like to go for solution of that particular problem. Accordingly, your research starts by identifying various variables. After identification of the problem, you come out with the extensive literature survey. That means for a particular problem, for that particular phenomena, for that particular object, what kind of research has been done in the entire world, okay, and published in the forms of academic journals, conference proceedings, government reports, annual reports, newspapers, and then you try and understand your problem uh, with great insight. Remember, when you go for extensive research, okay, so extensive literature review gives you a deeper insight about nature of your problem, and that is what gives the fundamental understanding or basic understanding or deep insights about a particular problem. And that is why being a guide of in commerce and management, I always or we always tell our student to go for extensive literature review to understand your research study or to understand your research problem, so that you can gain the insight about a particular problem. And then you go for development of working hypothesis. Working hypothesis is nothing but the relationship between your selected variables, right? And after that, you go for preparing the research design. Now, research design is nothing but the planning stage. Remember, how the entire research study can be conducted, the entire planning will be done in the research design. Okay, so what kind of research study I would like to go for it, whether it is descriptive, exploratory, empirical, analytical. Okay, so you identified which method of data collection I'm going to use, what is my population, how my sample can be selected, which method I'm going to use it. That everything will be decided under under research design is it is nothing but the blueprint of your entire research study. Okay, how much money, okay, resources I'm going to use, which kind of resource I'm going to use, which method I'm going to analyze for the statistical analysis I'm going to use it. That everything will be a part of your research design, and your research design will be different from your research study. If it is your exploratory study, your research design will be different. If it is a descriptive study, your research design will be different. In case of hypothesis testing research, your research design will be different. Okay, depending on your type of study, your research design will be different. So after having blueprint of your research, your next step will be determining sample design. This is the important part of your research study. Okay, so your respondents may be starting with your universe or population member. Okay, so who are my respondents? Okay, so for example, understanding or studying the consumption patterns of students of SPU. So in that case, my universe and my population would be the number of students studying in or enrolling in SPU. That is my population. That is my universe. It is difficult. It is difficult to contact the entire population, so that we select the sample. Okay, so we select the sample based on various methods. Okay, so for example, we would like to take the sample from every department, from every college. Okay, so from every college and from every department, there are various courses are covered. So, for example, in your Department of English, MA in English is going on. So from MA in English, there are two divisions. So again, in every division, we have male and female students. So accordingly, under every sample, you have sampling frame. Now, sampling frame can be decided that from that sampling frame, you will decide one sample unit. So my sampling frame would be the courses covered under each and every department, either in department or in the college would be my sampling frame. And my sampling unit would be male or female students studying in that particular program. Okay, so MA in English would be my sampling frame, and male and female students in MA English would be my sample unit, from which I would like to get the responses, okay, for their studying their consumption patterns. Okay. Very quickly, it is two types of sampling methods used. It is probability sampling method and non-probability sampling method. Now, probabilities methods are all scientific methods, wherein uh, every sample has the chances or the probability of occurring or providing or selecting from the population. That chances are there, or probability is there, that every sample or every respondent has a chances or the probability to get selected from the entire population. That is what the probability. When in case of non-probability, there is no probability of a sample which can be selected from a particular population or the universe. Now, simple random sampling is one of the most scientific method used in the case of probability method. I've given the example that how one can go for simple random sampling where I have the list of entire population. When you have the list of entire population, now for example, the university students or university students. So I have the list of students studying in various department and various college. So from every course, from every division, I'm going to select the students which is considered as simple random sampling. Systematic sampling is nothing but from that particular list, every first, third, fifth, seventh student will be my sample. From each division of MA, A division, B division, I have 50 students. So my selection would be systematically. It is just like first student, third student, fifth student, seventh student, ninth student, 11th student. That is systematic sampling. Stratified sampling, that means I'm dividing the entire population into various strata. Now here in case of this, I can divide into two strata, okay, or various strata based on the various courses. Science would be one strata, commerce would be one strata, arts would be one strata. Again, into that, again, I can divide into various different strata as well. Okay, uh, college wise. Okay, uh, college in Vidyanagar, college in Anand, college in Nadia, college in various places. So accordingly, I'm stratifying my population into various stratum, which is known as stratified sampling. Cluster sampling is nothing but you are dividing into various clusters. For example, entire Gujarat can be divided into 5 zones, which is known as cluster sampling. But here the point would be that you must have the list of your respondents. Remember, then and then it can be considered as probability uh, sampling. Non-probability sampling, one of the common, it is convenience sampling. Based on my convenience, based on my uh, interest, I am selecting sample. That means I'm residing in Vidyanagar, and that is why I'm selecting the colleges from colleges from Vidyanagar for collecting samples. That is my convenience. A voluntary response sampling, nothing but I instead of I approach respondents. In this case, respondents are approaching the researchers to give the responses, which is known as a voluntary response sampling. A purposive sampling, that means it is uh, it is judgmental and very purposively. I am selecting only male students from colleges. Okay, for my study, that is my judgment. But that judgment and that purpose would must have some logic for selecting those purpose. Remember. Snowball sampling, it happens in case of where you don't know your population. After getting one response from that respondent, you are getting information of another respondents. So you contact that another respondents, you contact that another respondent. He will give more information about another more such kind of respondents, which is known as snowball sampling. I think snowball is just like when you a small snow. I think you just I think try and fall from a particular height, you find that the volume of snowball is increasing. It is, and that way you are getting the responses. You are getting the more number of respondents for getting the responses, because in that case you do not know the respondents. So you are using snowball sampling. Quota sampling. I think you are deciding quota. That means from this college, I'll take 10 students. This college, I'll select 20 students. Okay, that is what quota sampling. Consecutive sampling, I think from a particular department for a particular college, you go to that college and you decide, okay, entire class can be covered. Okay, that is your consecutive sampling for selection of samples. Okay, next is collecting data. Okay, so collecting data can be quantitative data and qualitative data. It is already, I think, it is non-numerical data can be considered as qualitative data. We have normally two types of data. Primary data can be directly collected from the respondent, which is known as primary data. And the method used are surveys, interviews, observation, and experiment are using for collecting primary data. Second data is already available in the various platforms such as books, articles, database, office records. Okay, wherein you're using another researcher's published data for your research, known as second data. After that, you execution the project, you start collecting the data. Okay. Okay. And then next is analysis of data, wherein you use coding, editing, tabulation, and classification methods, or the process for analysis of data. You give code. For example, you have collected. I'll just give one example. Gender would be one variable, wherein I think you have found male and female. But for analysis, Excel won't analyze with text, and that is why you convert them into some numbers, and that is why you give them code, one as male and another two as female, to measure that particular variable. You edit, you tabulate, you convert them into some tabulation, you classify based on gender, based on income, to make your hypothesis, sorry, to make your analysis easy, right? Next is hypothesis testing. Whatever number of variables you have identified, and you formulate relationship between the variables, which is known as hypothesis, which you would like to test, those hypotheses, okay, by using various statistical tests like independent sample t-test, ANOVA. Okay, there are various methods or various statistical tests are available for hypothesis testing, and then you give the result. And next is generalization and interpretation based on whatever analysis you are doing. And on that basis, you prepare your report or your thesis. Your thesis contents would look like this, okay, because it is given in the right. But the important part would be this: a research paper is nothing but the independent analysis on a particular small, uh, very small subject or a small phenomena, okay, which won't cover the entire thing, which can be considered as a research paper. Okay, so a research thesis, where I think students have learned by exploring topic in books, cyclopedia, and it's on a holistic way. I think you find research thesis available. Article is a document describing, reviewing, and discussing results. Okay, it's considered as article. Dissertation in many postgraduate courses, I think you find dissertation also can be part of. But again, these are all aspects of types of research in various forms of reports. These are very important style. The modern language association, that is MLA style, will be always used for humanities, arts and humanities. People are using the reference style of MLA, that is modern language association. Uh, this is the way it can be available. In social sciences, we are using the American Psychological Association, that is APA style. Seventh is going on, wherein this way the referencing or the acknowledgement of a researcher can be cited. These are the ways of citation can be reflecting in your research paper, in your article, or in your thesis. So that is what the Kennedy dot D. That is always you find the surname first, then comma, then name would be with the first name would be always with alphabet dot, then the year in which it is published, okay, and the title of the researcher, and then the name of journal. Right? That way it is cited in the research paper or the article. Uh, Very quickly, ICT, you find application of various ICT. These are the, remember, search engine in research paper that you would like to search for research paper. Then we have number of platform like Google Scholar, Microsoft Academic Search, ScienceScope, ResearchGate, BioHunter, Edu, SSRN, Web of Science, Scopus. These are the various search engine platform for finding your research papers. There are shared data set and codes are available, and for that you find various fields of ICT wherein I think data banks are available. SlideShare is also available. There are number of certain data sets are also given by number of agencies where you find data sets and codes are available. Connect and communicate with experts and researchers, and for that you have various platforms are there. Academia is there, and then OCR is there, that is Open Science Framework. OCF is also there. ResearchGate is also there. Academia, Joy is also. These are the platform where you find the researchers are communicating or connecting the researches with each other, or you can collaborate. We have number of free digital library in case of like that. It is National Digital Library of India, Internet Archives, National Repository of Open Educational Resources. These are all the various forms of free digital library. Simulation and the lab. The examples are virtual labs, lab suits, live technologies, lab management tools. There are a number of writing and publishing research papers tools are also available. Citation styles, draft, in Microsoft, you have referencing styles are also available. Mendeley is also there. Okay, Zotter is also there for referencing, and these are various platforms used by the researcher. Okay, for writing and publishing research papers. There are a number of AI tools are also used by the researchers for various for summarizing research, for summarizing the entire paper. There are a number of AI tools are used by the researcher. Okay. Research ethics, wherein I think these are the various fundamental things in terms of the objective through which I think you go for research. Okay, so based on various set of principles and guidelines, a scholar must adhere to, so that you don't fall into the plagiarism and copying the research. Okay, that means integrity. You need to be honest with your findings and research. Your objectivity, that means you must have well-defined objective for which you are conducting the research. Your professional competence is that means you are professional competent to do your own research at your own in terms of analysis of data, collection of data. Okay, confidentiality must be always there when in case of those who are participating in research, okay, should be in place and protected so that this does not cause any harm to the participant in the future. Professional behavior, it is expected to behave very professionally with the participant involved such that the outcome remains bias free. Remember, because in many cases, I think it is certain social science research, certain psychological research. I think the respondents would not like to reveal their information, so that thing must be taken care by every researcher as a research ethics. These are the codes of research ethics citation. That means when you are citing other persons, other researchers, when you're using other researchers findings, so in that case you must cite their researchers things in your research paper or in your thesis. Punctuality must be there, scientific permission must be there. If you're using some data, then you must get the permission for using that particular data. Honesty and objectivity must be there. Respecting the individual's privacy, the respondents or the participant who are participating in your research. I think now it is we have the Privacy Act. Okay, so whenever you are conducting research, I think you are using and you are giving disclaimer of the Privacy Act. That means your data is using only for academic purpose, not for other purpose, and you're not going to share data with any person. Okay, that means you're getting the consent, and then you proceed for the research. This is very important from the examination point of view. That means hypothesis. When you draw the hypothesis, I think you find with two errors, a type 1 error and the type 2 error. So type 1 error is nothing but where you reject the null hypothesis, which has to be accepted. Okay, and type 2 error occurs, the null hypothesis is false, and you, due to some misinterpretation, you accept it. Okay, so uh, when your null hypothesis is true, in that case, when you reject the hypothesis, it is considered as type 1 error, denoted by alpha. In case of false hypothesis or wrong null hypothesis, based on your data, you need to accept the hypothesis, which can be considered as type 2 error, denoted by beta, which can be considered as wrong decision, which can be considered as false negatives, and the type 1 error, it's considered as false positive because your hypothesis is true and you have rejected hypothesis, and that is why it is considered as wrong decisions or false positive. Type 2 error is considered as false negative. Okay, so some references I have used for selecting or deciding this, and thank you everyone for patient listening, and I hope that I have added something to your preparation of paper one in case of research aptitude, and I wish all the best everyone for your examination, right? So
Thank you very much, sir. Uh, Now, any questions? If you have any questions, you can put questions to the sir. Yes, anyone from you? We know about research, but we didn't know about ethical aspect of research. So on that, if you say something, ethical aspect of research.
ethical aspects, sir, because nowadays what happened?
No, because they go for plagiarism
Yes, yes,
sometimes without knowing anything about it. So
and that is why, because now plagiarism would be one aspect, but before that, now due to these so much penetration of the artificial intelligence, in case of research as well, now the shortcuts will be taken by a number of researchers, which may not be done by any researchers. You can get assistance of artificial intelligence, okay, but you can't rely only on artificial intelligence. And for that, the first fundamental thing of any researchers, I think you must go for extensive literature review. And so whatever things I think any the other researcher has done and which you would like to use in your research, you must you must cite their researches in your paper. Okay, that means you give due diligence to their findings in your research. Okay, that is what you don't fall into plagiarism. Remember, because un, and that is why extensive literature review will give you safeguards from the plagiarism, knowingly or unknowingly, if you have used. Okay, that way your extensive literature review, I think, protect you from that plagiarism, sir. But nowadays, sir, the artificial intelligence would be so common in amongst the researchers, because the entire paper can be summarized with the help of artificial intelligence. AI, there are a number of AI tools are available which can prepare the entire format of the paper. That is fine. You can give assistance, but you cannot rely only on the data given by the AI tools. And that is why every researcher use AI. That is fine to sharpen your weapon of research study, but do not rely on that. Remember, that is my advice to everyone, so that you don't fall into the plagiarism. Because now there are a number of AI detector tools are also available, wherein the journals and the guide are using those AI detector tool to check or measure the how much number of words, or what content you have used with the help of AI. Okay, so uh, take care, use it wisely. Okay, so that you don't fall into the plagiarism phenomenon, right?
Thank you very much, sir. Any question from any student participant? Yes. Would anyone like to make any observation? Sir, we have taken a lot of time. You know, our plan was your lecture should be from 10:30 to 11:30. But madam told the next speaker that you will speak up to 12 o'clock. So we allowed you to continue.
One
And
addition
we don't
into that,
disturb.
for example, I've given very primary things about research, because net nowadays become more and more uh, deeper into that. In case of asking number of certain questions, you may not find a direct questioning in your net examination. There are a number of I suggest one book, C.R. Kothari's Research Methodology by C.R. Kothari. It is available online. The entire book is available online, wherein you can find all the aspects, okay, in detail as well. So that way there are a number of uh, other YouTube platforms are also available for each and every topics are available. Because the more you read, the more you understand, it will be easier for you to give the answer in the examination. Remember, because what happened now, uh, you found questions are in not in one word answer. Okay, it would be
Yes,
in a form of
yes,
statements, where you need to
yes,
find out the probable nearer answer of that from that particular statement, which statements are correct, which statements are not correct. Accordingly, such questions are asked. Make the following such kind of questions are asked, wherein I think you never find easy answers. Are even in the match the following also you find uh, the answer which are very nearer in case of selection of the right answers. Okay, so that way you need to create and gain more insights about each and every topic. Uh,
Question from a student who is attending from YouTube. So the question is, can we use Chat GTP as a part of a research?
Pardon?
Can we use Chat GTP as a part of research?
You can take assistance of ChatGPT. Remember, for example, in many journals, they have always started now asking that whether you have used assistance of artificial intelligence or ChatGPT or not. Wherein I think you need to declare. Okay, here the research ethics comes into the picture, that you declare that these many portions have taken help from ChatGPT or artificial intelligence, any tool for this particular portions. Okay, but your collection of data, your findings may not be based on the or entirely rely on the research or on ChatGPT or AI tools. Remember, It is advisable to use wisely. Again, I'm repeating, you can take assistance. You cannot give command to do entire research on ChatGPT. You can get assistance. You can sharpen your skills by using ChatGPT or by using number of AI tools for conducting your research. But you can't conduct the research on through ChatGPT. Remember, that is what my advice is all about. So one can take assistance and take help from ChatGPT or AI tools for creating more insights, for sharpening their research, the findings and interpretations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Davesh sir, if you permit me, then this right now we have the pre-PhD presentation at our department. So if you permit me, then I can leave. If the respondents are not having any questions, in that case, with your permission, may I leave?
Yes, sir. We have taken a lot of time. Thank you very much, sir. On behalf of the department, on behalf of the student participants, uh, we thank you for sparing time for us and telling our students about research methodology. Thank you.
Thank you, and it's my pleasure, sir, interacting
Okay.
with students. And all the best, everyone. Thank you, sir. Family.
Thanks. हाँ नहीं नहीं इनके साथ बात कर रही है हेलो hello student participants, don't go away. As soon as the next person logs in, we will introduce him and he or she will speak on the topic that is given to them. So right now, stay put and tell us how you feel about this program. Our students are there. So Vishwajit Wala, Vaishali Parmar, Sunil Bhojani, Srushti Dave, Purvi, Levina, I don't know, Pradeep, Kruti, Jaimin Joshi is there. Yes, Jaimin. Any observations? Jaimin,
Yes, sir.
Drashti
Good afternoon.
Gupta. Yes,
Good afternoon.
yes,
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
huh,
No, sir, it's going well, sir. Yeah, at least the first paper portion is going well.
yes. And our concern is with paper one
Yes, yes, sir.
because students are not familiar with mathematical reasoning
Yes, sir.
and all
And
that.
also the environmental aspect. The students are not familiar
Ah,
with the, you can say, concepts of environmental science as well.
no, we have environment paper.
Yes, yes,
Piyush Bhai is dealing with it,
yes.
but that is a literary point of view.
Of course, is there. But yes, sir. That's why theoretical aspect is not included in literature quite often.
Ah,
I, I, I,
so we
I,
have.
I I taught environmental science to BCA students this year,
Mhm.
so that helped me a lot.
So if you want to say something about that, you can,
No, no,
you
nothing.
may.
I think it is better to keep to the basics in environmental science,
Ah,
starting with the four kinds of pollution and what causes those pollutions, right? And
mm,
basics are there, air pollution as well as water pollution, and mainly
mm,
what students most often do not forget is the soil pollution.
mhm,
We only keep to air, water pollution. Soil pollution is equally important, and
mm,
how ecosystem works and how it is
mm,
related to
mm,
polluting the ecosystem.
mm. We tell our students to read Eco-Criticism, Critical Idiom series.
Yes, sir.
And there is another book by Black Swan,
Ha.
Eco-Criticism.
Ranganathan, I think
That
some
is also a
Ranganathan
good
has,
book. I have read
yes,
it.
Ranganathan has written
So,
one. Ranganathan.
yes, yes. So you stay put. I have some work.
Yes, sir,
Work in
sure.
the sense the department is also going on.
Yes,
So
sir, yes.
all sorts of riding many horses. Okay. So students are requested to stay put, and very soon someone will join you. Anyone else want to make any observation? Whether your needs are satisfied in a way or not. Today, Chandalia sir's lecture is there. He is going to speak on cultural studies. He is a very experienced man and retired man, and you listen to him. It's always very good to listen to Chandalia sir. So whatever may be the morning timetable, okay, you join at 2:30 and listen to him. Tomorrow, Atanu sir's lecture is there, okay, and he is going to speak on structuralism and post-structuralism. Madam has put four isms: formalism, new criticism, structuralism, and post-structuralism. But now, formalism and uh, new criticism are out of date. So I thought he should speak on structuralism and post-structuralism because it is not taught here. You don't have it in syllabus right now. So if you know more about structuralism and post-structuralism, it would be better. Okay. So don't miss these two lectures. Today's lecture about cultural studies and tomorrow's afternoon lecture by Atanu sir. Okay. So stay put. चालू कर रहे student friends, once again you are welcome to this program. Komal Shedat Puri has logged in, so we will begin with her. And let me introduce Komal Shedat Puri. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Am I visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. And what about Komal Shedat Puri? Are you there, madam? Komal Shedat Puri, are you there?
Yes, sir. I have joined.
Okay, thank you very much. So let me introduce first. Komal Shedat Puri is an assistant professor of English at Government Arts and Commerce College, Gadhada. She is pursuing her PhD in ELT from Department of English, MK Bhavnagar University. She has cleared GSET in 2018, NET in 2019, and GPSC Class 2 in 2021. So now she will talk to our student participants. Okay, madam, please, I hand over to you.
Yes. Am I audible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Very good afternoon, to respected sir and other participants, and the other faculty members who have joined in panel discussion. Strategies or tips as I experience. First, I see myself as a learner. I'm not a master or expert in this net or other things, but I'm just a learner like you. So I want to share a few things with you, some few strategies or tips how to prepare. This NET and GSET exams. So now, as you know, that NET exam is being mandatory for even for PhD admissions. So we have to clear this exam for the qualification of being an assistant professor or for JRF or for PhD admission. So as I'm sharing my own experience, I want to share my journey. As sir mentioned in my brief introduction, that I have completed my master in 2018 from Department of English, Maharaja Krishna Kumar Seji Bhavnagar University. Then after in 2018, there is an announcement for the GSET exam being conducted. So for 4 to 5 months, I have took a break for reading and preparation of for this exam because I have an experience of giving this exam during my masters. So with the blessing of Almighty God and with the uh, few strategies and tips that I have followed, I'm able to crack this exam in 2018 GSET. And then after the result of GSET, we have notification for GPSC, which is 2018 and 19 GPSC advertisement. And I start preparing for the GPSC. And in between, in 2019 June, the NET has declared the date for the exam. So I thought, let's try for the NET also because we are fortunate that we have the same syllabus in GSET, NET, or even in GPSC. but the way of asking question and the mode of this exam and other things, there are slight difference. When we compare GSET with NET, we find NET more difficult than GSET because it is a national eligibility test. We have more scope for the competition with the aspirant and participant from all other states. So I want to start with a few lines that I think feeling of every aspirant when they just begin their journey for the preparation of NET. That like डर मुझे भी लगता था फासला देखकर पर मैं बढ़ता गया रास्ता देखकर खुद ब खुद मेरे नजदीक आती गई मेरी मंजिल मेरा हौसला देखकर. So the important in this line is the rasta, the way, the journey. When you start, if your way is clear, then you achieve that goal that you have set for yourself. So the thing that I want to share, like when we start preparing, like we are belong to this English literature and language background. So the basic history background and theories and criticism and other all parts that we are clear in that. But the NET asking for a more detailed understanding of variety of literary forms and literature like American, Canadian, Afro-American literature, or even day by day, this new critical theories are emerging. So the basic thing that I want to send that this is not the test of the memory. People say that is a test of memory. No doubt there is a test of memory because it is asking objective type question. But I want to share this with you that when you prepare, do not memorize the things. Try to understand the concepts. Try to apply it in a real life incident and situation, and then try to make yourself understood for the concepts and the literary text that you are studying. So the basic prerequisite thing before you start preparing for NET and SET, the few thing that I want to mention here is the two things that I think you have heard: passion and patience. Passion. You should have a passion to crack this exam. No one is forcing you. Or if you are preparing for or someone's saying or someone's suggestion or someone's advice, or you prepare on your own with your own wish and desire. So there is a vast change in it. And patience is more important because NET is too difficult, and it is not important that you give exam for the first time and you crack it. There are many people who are still trying third time, fourth time. So you should be patient enough to achieve your goal. The another thing is the self-confidence. If you are confident enough while preparing and also while giving exam, we will discuss this afterward, the giving exam or duration of exam, and what kind of problems that you are facing and what kind of tips that you should follow. It happens many a time that you have prepared well, but when you are giving exam, you have problem of time management and you cannot understand the question, and after that you just think that, oh, I've done a mistake. So there are some strategies how to give answer or how to give this exam, or what tips or strategies you should follow while giving the exam. Right, a self-confidence, I think that it is most important because this is a journey of self-study, right? We are preparing on our own, we are reading, we are understanding the concepts. No doubt we have experts, we have teachers who are guiding us, who are mentoring us, but still it is on our own that how we prepare and what schedule or timetable that we follow. So every day you have to motivate yourself. Every day you push your confidence, because confidence is the best accessory that everyone has. It is not that some people have that confidence level. We all have, but we have to push ourselves towards that self-confidence and motivation. The important thing is positive attitude. I'm discussing this few things that is very important as a part of my experience during this GPSC preparation also, because in GPSC there is also this MCQ test, written preliminary test, and then there is a interview. So what thing that helped me that I'm sharing with you all? This is a positive attitude. You have to always visualize yourself that you have already achieved your goal. When you visualize that every day, you push yourself to work for that, or you work hard to achieve that. So you have to push, challenge yourself every day, whatever time that you are giving to your preparation. So process oriented approach is very important. You shouldn't think that this is not my cup of tea, or I cannot crack the net, it is too difficult exam. So if you think like this negatively, so it is very difficult to prepare for such exams. So always think that it is easy. You should work on your own self, believe in your process, how you prepare, and focused mind is very important, right? You have to decide that I have to do this at any cost, and you have to very focused. Avoid the distraction. There are many distractions. I want to share here one thing that if you give your 2 or 3 years with the hard work or smart work. Yes, any question? Okay. Persistent hard work, if you do 2 or 3 years, you can prepare your the future life, or for, I can say 40 to 50 years will be which will be a golden years for you, or that will be the great achievement for you. For that, you require a good health, a mental health, physical or even mental health for any kind of preparation or any kind of work that you do. So for mental preparation or for mental health, you always be happy. Do not do this preparation with being sad or disappointed or demotivated. Always think positive, motivate yourself, and feel happy. If you feel happy, you have half done. You have half done your journey. Here I want to share few strategies. As you all, I think, started with the preparation of NET, or earlier maybe you have appeared. But what I follow a few strategies. In GSET, NET, and GPS, in all three, I start with the previous year's question paper. Last 5 to 6 years, previous year's question paper. You just open that, try to solve, try to assess the questions. For what? First thing, try to assess the question, that what kind of questions they are asking. Like in paper 2, what kind of questions they are asking? They are asking like the character from any literary text. They are asking the title and the writer, the text, who has written this text, match the following. They are also asking for the beginning lines of very famous literary works. They are asking few concept literary terms or the theories. So try to assess and bifurcate that which topics they cover the most. Like they cover literary theories, they cover the literary terms, they cover this literature like American, Canadian, Afro-American, etc. So the first thing that you should do is start assessing question papers, which is last 5 or 4 years question paper you can assess, and then make a list of topics or subjects that they from which they are asking, and then make a timetable to cover every subject. Like you give one topic, you give 1 week for one topic, and then next week you take another topic. So when you try to understand these subjects or topics from which they are asking questions, if you have covered one topic in a week, so every weekend, Sunday, you try to practice MCQs, which is asked on such topics. Because there are platform like if you, I don't know if you are aware of this, or Arpita Karwa's website is there. Arpita Karwa's for paper 2 practices. There are previous year's question paper you can practice. Even our sir, Dilip Barad, has created a blog where we have created Google form, which is question papers of this NET or GSET, where you can give test, that mock test for this paper 1 or paper 2. So this you can do at the end of completion of every subject or every topic. This will give you a confidence that no, I'm in the right direction of the preparation. The
Komalji,
second is, yes.
You have 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay, okay. The second important thing is paper 1 that most of we are ignoring. We are coming from this literature and language background, so we are confident that we will cover in paper 2. But paper one is more scoring as per my experience. There are some topics like teaching, research, ICT, reading comprehension. So if with paper two, I suggest you give enough time to paper one also. 2 hours every day you can prepare for paper one. Take one topic for a week and then another topic in the next week. So also focus on paper one along with paper two. The another thing that I want to mention, only two things I want to say here at last. This is for during giving exam, the most of problems that we are facing, that time management. So I want to suggest here two tips. One is when you earlier, now I think from this time NET will conduct in offline, but before that there is online exam. So either it is offline or online. When you have paper in your hand, just go through the paper. First, you should answer the question in 3 rounds. First round, answer the question in which you are 100% confident that I know this is the answer of this question. So complete that. Maybe there will be a 40 out of 100. Then in second round, answer those questions in which you think that 50% you are sure in that answers. So take a time to think and understand the questions. And in the third round, if you have less time even, so in third round in which you are not sure, you don't know, you have not read, or the questions are not familiar with you. So in that you can tick any of the option on the base of your guessing or your intuition. So in that we do not have regret that those questions were left that we know or we can give right answers. And the second thing, when you answer the question, there are 4 options. So use the elimination technique. All right. There is 4 options, and you should use the elimination that this option is not suitable. You are sure that this answer is not suitable to the question. You eliminate 1, 2, and then there is a 2 question, like 50-50 elimination process. So in that you will be more confident to answer the right question. Right. These are a few strategies that I want to share. I think I have very less time. So I want to end with this, that make your preparation continuous. Never take a break. So compete with yourself. Do not compete with others. Make yourself confident enough. Improve yourself every day with more efforts and more preparation. Right? I want to end here with this note. If you have any questions, so you can ask me regarding this.
Any questions? Any student? I think they have no question. Thank you, Komalji,
Thank you,
for
sir.
sharing the tips of how to prepare for NET exam. And let's hope some other time we may meet and have more to think. Question answer session will be at the end of it.
Yes.
At the
Sure.
end of
That's
after speeches of these 4 candidates. Now I invite Kavishaji, and Kavishaji will be introduced by our student Maitri Mehta. So Kavishaji is there. Yes.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yes, Maitri.
Yes, sir. Ms. Kavisha Alagia, who has passed a NET and GSET, is currently serving as an assistant professor of English at Sardar Patel Educational Institute. She is also a dedicated research scholar at the Department of English, where she is pursuing her doctoral studies in hypertext fictions, electronic literature, under the esteemed guidance of Dr. Dilip Barad. Prior to her current roles, Ms. Kavisha imparted her knowledge and expertise as a visiting faculty member at the Department of English, Maharaja Krishna Kumar Singh Ji, Bhavnagar University, where she taught postgraduate students. Additionally, she served as a lecturer at Sahajanand College of Commerce and Management, where she passionately taught communication to MBA students and literature to BA students. She has also taken on additional responsibilities to contribute to the scholarly community. She served as a the coordinator of the National Seminar on AI and Digital Humanities and English Studies, demonstrating her leadership and organizational skills in the facilitating an important academic event. Miss Kavisha's academic achievements speak volumes about her additional and excellence. Miss Kavisha Alagia's journey reflects her commitment to scholarly pursuits and her passion for advancing the field of English literature and electronic studies. Now, I request ma'am to share her insights with the students.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. Let me know if my screen is visible. I'm sharing my screen. I have designed the presentation for convenience. So, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Fine. So here I'm going to share some strategies which can be effective for the success of NET. I know that NET examination is a very rigorous test of understanding. It also tests our patience for literature and language as well as our patience. So I would like to help in this case, like creating effective strategies for NET examination. Is my second screen visible? PowerPoint slide, second slide. Yes. So as you all know, you might be aware about the structure. Like there are two paper number 1 and paper number 2. Mostly I have found that even including myself, most of the students of English literature particularly focus on paper number 2 and avoid some of the parts of paper number 1, which is completely okay, because I in hurry and in a what you say in a kind of eagerness to crack NET examination, I myself had also avoided some of the topics of paper number 1, and which were beyond my understanding. Like there is this mathematical aptitude, logical reasoning, which and statistics and all. So I was very below average in that topics, and so I focused more on paper number 2, as well as some of the concepts like research aptitude, teaching aptitude, ICT. That are the topics which can be scoring for in paper number 1. So yes, people can do that. When we come to the study techniques, like there are two techniques or strategies. One is working hard, one is working smart. Like we can compile both the things and we can have an active learning kind of thing, which can be helpful. Like we can actively, this NET examination, some people think is a test of memory, but it is not so. As Ms. Shahadat Puri also mentioned, it really tests the analytical skills. It really tests the solving skills, solving MCQs based on our understanding. That becomes much more important. So engaging actively with the material, summarizing information in our own words, that will be more helpful. And I found this thing much more convenient. Like if I teach a certain topic to other students or other peers, then that topic will be so much ingrained in my mind that I will be able to solve the questions based on my understanding. So that can be more helpful. Practicing previous year's question papers, that can be helpful in this case. Also, the previous person also talked about this thing that solving previous year's question papers are much more important, because that will give you an idea how the questions are asked. Mock test, yes, some of the universities and also online tutors are designing mock tests based on which certain questions will be asked on the in NET examination. Then is revision. Yes, you will have to continuously revise. You will have to refer time and again to certain concepts which demands your attention periodically. Review what you have studied to reinforce your memory. And note making. This I will give you much importance or much emphasis to note making. We have certain things in our mind, then we have to create mind that is called mind mapping. So that thing helps me a lot in memorizing as well as understanding the concept. Next slide. Yes, resources and materials. I used to refer to certain books. There is this cultural studies by Pramod K. Nair. Then there is literary theory and criticism by Patricia Wu. So this books, these are the books which provide a comprehensive understanding of fundamental concepts and theories. Sorry, shall I continue?
So
Okay. Then there are some online resources. YouTube educators have certain made certain channels, and they are regularly updating their channels, their videos on some really important contents. Like there is this Unacademy, which I had mentioned here. Then there is this UGC Net Adda 247. So this this channels provide regular videos on certain topics which are very much complicated. They have designed in such a seamless manner that the topic would seem very easy to the learners. And materials are also there where certain educators have made, like Vineet Pandey sir from Delhi, as well as Kalyani Vallath ma'am from Kerala. They are having their own courses online. They are also designing the materials. They have cracked GRF numerous times, and they are also teaching. They are having their personal classes, so their materials are also useful. And some they believe that some of the questions are as it is in the NET examination from their material. I had subscribed to this course, purchased this course on Udemy. That was helpful to me. I had purchased it on 2020, and during this 4 years, I have been benefited a lot from this course. Another resources are these things. For paper number 1, there are these 2 books which I had listed here. Then yes, this by Dr. Kalyani Vallath ma'am, who is running this Total English Solutions, her classes at Kerala. She has designed various question pads wherein you will be able to find certain questions which will be directly related to the NET course. Then there are certain, for paper number 2, there are this list of books: British and American literature, Indian writing in English, contemporary literary theory and cultural studies. This book I would particularly refer to and advise you also, suggest you also to refer. Then what about theory? Yes, so these are the reading resources, and that's all from my side. Thank you for this opportunity to the Department of English, Sardar Patel University.
Thank you very much, Kavishaji. Any question you would like to put to Kavishaji, student friends? Okay, keep thinking about it, and probably at the end of the speeches, we will have some question answer session. Okay, thank you very much, Kavishaji. Now I invite Dr. Viraj Desai. Dr. Viraj Desai. I hope she is there. Yes. Yes, we welcome you, madam. And let me introduce you for 1 minute or 2 minutes. Dr. Viraj Desai is a researcher and academician and literary translator based in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. She has served various prestigious educational institutes such as Sardar Vallabhbhai National Institute of Technology, Surat, and Department of English, Veer Narmad, South Gujarat University, Surat, to name a few. She is a certified translator. Okay. She has pursued her doctoral degree in the area of translation studies from Veer Narmad, South Gujarat University, Surat, and areas of her research interests include translation theory, translation criticism, and Indian literatures in English translation. Viraji, we welcome you, and now I hand over to you, and you talk to our students. On. Uh,
Ma'am, you are not audible.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Am I audible now? Okay. So what I'm saying is that from my interactions with various students and my personal experience also, I have understood that for exams like these, net set, you need to carve your own strategy. So you can listen to various people today also or throughout the course of these 15 days, but then create your own strategy. And I have charted a few tips, so to say. Many of them were covered by my earlier speakers, so I won't repeat them. But first is that read thoroughly. And when I say read thoroughly, it means going beyond those books that are specifically written for net exam. Go to your histories, go to your books of criticism, read your history, criticism, and other areas as thoroughly as possible and make your own notes. So one strategy could be if your, let's say, Arihant Publications book on British history talks about the Elizabethan age. So you can take it as a standpoint and then go back to your histories, whatever history you are reading, whether it's Oxford history, Cambridge history, your, Edward Albert, whatever it is, but go back to those history books. Which also brings me to another point is that you need to, if you are an MA student already, then it becomes easier for you. But if there has been a substantial period between your MA till the time you appear for this exam, then you need to go back to your BA and MA syllabus, not just of your own university, but I would also suggest to look at the syllabi of various Indian universities, prestigious Indian universities like Delhi University, University of Hyderabad, JNU, Mumbai University, Christ University, and there can be many more. So you have an idea of the kind of questions or the kind of areas which can be covered by this particular exam. Another thing is that we are always allured by upcoming areas like cultural studies, translation studies, digital humanities. Those areas would attract you more. But for the sake of this exam, you should start by clearing your basics. Whether it's history, whether it's literary criticism, start with the basics. Go to learn your British history first, history of British literature, English literature first, then go to American, then go to Indian writing in English, right? Similarly, before delving deep into literary theories, go back to the basics. And by basic, I mean as basic as Aristotle or Plato, right? You need to go to these people and you need to study chronologically. Because if I directly go to, let's say, Walter Benjamin, without having any background of literary criticism, then it is not going to make sense to me. So you are practically just wasting your time, right? Now, just like literary criticism, when it comes to history, it is very important to study an author or an era horizontally and vertically. Now, what does that mean? Let us take William Wordsworth or the Romantic Age in British literature, for example, right? Then you should know whatever William Wordsworth or S.T. Coleridge has written. You should know each and every work of Coleridge. Now, it may happen that a particular syllabus only has certain poems of William Wordsworth, but you do not limit yourself to knowing about the works that were in your syllabus or that are more popular. You need to know an author vertically. Vertically, which means you need to know all the works of William Shakespeare. And horizontally, you also need to connect him to the historical context that he was writing in. For example, in Romantic Age, where which is characterized by a return to the nature, Gothic fiction was being written. So why did that happen? It is only when you understand this area of Gothic fiction horizontally and vertically, you come to know. And this becomes important for net and set. Some people feel that such an in-depth study is useless for net and set, where you have to appear for an MCQ exam. But in the long run, you would realize that a thorough reading is your only resort and there are no shortcuts. Now, lastly, I have a very practical advice which someone gave me and I followed is to prepare charts of the things which are simply needed to be memorized. You can't understand them. For example, the birth dates of the authors, the publication dates of certain works, right? The birth dates of certain critics, the birthplace of a writer. The things that are simply data. It's nothing else but data. So what you can do is you can make charts age wise, author wise, and you can stick them on your walls. So every day when you wake up, you at least have a glance at them, and that conditions your mind. Whatever you see, visuals are important. So whatever you see every day is bound to have more chance of, you know, entering your memory. So I understand we have reached a digital age, but if you make a PPT of these things, you might not look at them. But if you have physical charts stuck on your cupboards, on your walls, you would have a look at them, right? So everything else that I wanted to say, I think, was covered by the other speakers. So that's all. Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. If anyone has any question, he or she is free to ask the question. And if you don't have question right now, we move ahead. Thank you, Mary. Thank you very much, Virajji.
Thank you. Thank you. Sir.
Now Mihir Valera is an alumnus of Department of English, Sardar Patel University, Vallabh Vidyanagar. He has done his graduation in 2017 and post-graduation in 19. He has also done Bachelor of Education English in 221 from renowned H.M. Patel Institute of English Training and Research. He has served as Professor of English at B.J. Vanijya Mahavidyalaya and also served as English language teacher of upper primary standard. He has cleared GSET and UGC NET in 2022. So I hand over to Mihir Valera. Valera ji, we welcome
Yes,
you.
sir. Okay. Thank you. Thank you,
And,
sir.
uh,
Okay. First of all, good afternoon, everyone. I hope I am audible enough to everybody.
yes.
Okay. So, as most of the topics of clearing net and research has been already covered by the previous scholars, so I would like to focus upon just a few things that I have gone through or I have mentioned in my preparation while preparing GSET and NET. So first and foremost thing, as the previous speakers has already announced, you should have one book in the previous sessions that have been conducted. You should have one first and foremost, the history of English literature by William Long that you should go through. Right? It should be on your hands every now and then. It will create your strong foundation for the preparation. The next step, once you clear this, then we start the preparation that what comes in the examinations. So first and foremost thing that comes is facts. Facts of different authors, different books, different genres. That, for example, there was a question like what was the works or what are the works that have been written by the author, right? So this can be a fact. It is a fact. Then another can be what is the genre of this particular work, right? What is the genre of Lycidas? What is the genre of Pygmalion? What is the genre of War and Peace? Right? What is the genre of The Will on the Floss? So these are the different works, and the genre should be on the tip. Next thing that comes is where to read, or what are the areas one should focus upon. So here I have, you should divide the literatures. That's what I did. Dividation of literature. First, you should go for what is known to you. What have you studied in your bachelor's? What have you studied in your master's? What is your personal area of interest? Everyone, as you are literature enthusiast, so you should be having, or you must be having your areas of interest. Someone may be write romance novels, one may write any crime fiction or any other genre that you are interested in. First, you should clear that area on your own, because it will be your interested area, so it will be covered fast, right? You will be able to easily cover up as it is your interesting area. Second, then go for the literatures that are written in the world. So here we have three stages. First, British history. Second, American history. And third phase that NET asks, that is world literature. World literature covers Russian fiction, Canadian fiction, any other fiction that is available, or any other literature across the globe. It can also ask Sri Lankan fiction also. There was a question from Sri Lankan writer in the last night itself. So what kind of questions do they ask? So first can be chronology. Chronology of the writer, chronology of the works, chronology of the publication. Right, which work was, yes, any questions? Okay, let's go. Then you should have the writer's pen names, right? There were questions that what was the pen name of the writer George Eliot. George Eliot is a pen name. What is her original name, right? Then there was we have famous three authors, any three Victorian era writers. Who are they? Can anyone tell? Victorian era female writers, famous female writers. What are the famous? Yes, exactly. Bronte sisters. So were they writing with their own original names? No, they were writing with the pen names that address male, because there was a concept that females cannot write and females cannot publish with their own names. So they have adopted a male, a masculine name, and with which they have published their writings. So that should be known to you, that what pen name the writer have published to their works. It has been asked in the 2019 NET exam that what is the pen name of Charlotte Bronte, right? What is the pen name of this particular author? That has been asked. Now we come to second phase, that is Indian literature. What is Indian literature and when the Indian literature starts? So Indian literature starts not just after British colonialism. No, they do not focus on it only. They also focus on ancient literature as well. They also focus on rasa theory. They also focus on Vakrokti theory, right? They also focus on the literatures that have been translated from other languages of India. For example, Gujarati novel is there. Somnath, right? One famous on the title, I'm not recalling. That is translated in English, right? Kanayalal Munshi is the writer of it. So it has been translated into English. So they can be asked that what is the, when was it published, or who is the writer of it. They do not ask detailing of it because it is still not being taught. It is still exploring area, but do they ask on facts basis, right? What is the, who is the writer, when was it published, right? What is the central area? Next things comes non-fiction. What are the non-fiction? Here we can include everything. Here we can include criticism. Here we can include literary theory as well, right? The second part of non-fiction. When you start preparing non-fiction, you should also include your literary theory works as well, essays. And at last, when you are about to cover up your whole syllabus, you should go for the revision and the works that you find is important. There are several authors which are everyday repetition, and that you can find, as previous people have said, by revisiting the previous year's questions. So there are several authors, there are several works, there are several concepts that are repeatedly asked without any errors, without any block, right? They ask repeatedly. The same questions are being asked. So that you should have on your tip of the tongue. Okay, so that's all for now. As the time constraints, I would like to end up my session over here. Thank you, sir. If you have any questions, you can put it forward.
Thank you, Baleraji. And now, students, participants, please, if you have any questions, you may come forward. Yes, anyone? Any question to Komalji, to Kavishaji, to Virajji, to Valeraji? No questions? You have no problems as such now? Feel free. I hope I am audible. Anyway, I thank all the 4 speakers for sharing their experiences with us and took the trouble to come on this occasion and present whatever their experiences were and how they prepared and how they passed NET, GISLATE, etc. exam. Thank you very much. So we finish this session with these 4 speakers and we will meet at 2:30. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you, speakers.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.